second. Do you think that the music scene as a whole, just a broad statement, do you think the music scene is very demonically organized? Is there a lot of crazy stuff that happens in there? Can you kind of tell me a little bit about that?
Well, it sure isn't driving people to God. It definitely isn't making people want God more because it focuses on the worship of material things. And we all play a part in it. I've played a part in it, of course. It's not healthy. Over time, it's not healthy mentally and for the soul, emotionally. I mean, look at all the young people right now that have to grow up in the Instagram era where everyone is, editing and photoshopping and everyone thinks the other person looks like that in real life.
Yeah.
And these children, I can't imagine. I always think about this. I say these kids are so strong because I cannot imagine having to have dealt with this while I was growing up and, while you're changing, your body, your face, everything about you and, is changing. And then you have to constantly compare yourself to other people. And what does that do to the self-esteem of these young people?
Yeah.
That's what I care about. Like, I care about long-term, what is this doing to these young people that have to now grow up in this world post selfies and post Instagram and post, the Photoshop era, what is that doing, and I guess I feel a sense of responsibility too a lot of the times because a lot of the stuff that I was rapping about, I didn't, I was so young too. I didn't realize that there are young people listening to it and how it could probably make them make certain decisions that wasn't, really thought out. Now, if I could do it all over again, I would have changed a lot of things that I said.
What's good, y'all? It's Obi Media. This one is very, very interesting. Nicki Minaj breaks silence, and she said some things that you never heard her say before. And y'all gotta show some love, man, by dropping a like and subscribing, man, because we take some serious risks to get this one for y'all. So watch the full video, man. As I said, it's gonna be very interesting. And also, my people, let me know in the comments how you feel about this, man, because Nicki Minaj really said some very interesting stuff. Let's go.
Because I just don't like the idea of thinking that these people will now grow up wanting to change themselves as opposed to loving themselves, like as opposed to seeing how beautiful they are and realizing how much they have to offer the world just the way they are. That's what I think. That's what I think is very demonic about the industry as a whole, is that it makes people feel that they're never enough. And if you feel like you're never enough, how can you be happy?
Yeah. There's my pastor for back at home used this analogy one time about how, you could go to Macy's and buy a fur coat for like $120. And then if nobody thinks that coat is valuable for paying $120 for it, it'll be at TJ Maxx the next week for $19.99. And it's because people didn't think that was worth paying for. Right. And so many people see themselves that way through the comparison game. Like, I think maybe 100 years ago, people were marrying within a 5-mile radius of where they grew up. And now adultery has skyrocketed because there's an influx of options. You feel like you have
all these options. Yes.
Yeah. And it's so heartbreaking. Yeah. And so there's this, my pastor would always say, well, what's the price tag that God puts on your life? And I had never heard it phrased that way. And he just said, God puts his own life as the price tag on your life. Willing to die for you. And I think that's so powerful because identity is the hardest thing to understand about Jesus, in my opinion, right? That's like everything, when I'm struggling or I'm getting in my head or I'm the overthinker or, I have so much respect for you saying, I don't care what people think about me online. And I'm like, man, the tiniest thing can get under my skin and make me upset or hurt my feelings or make me go, well, wait a second, that's not what I meant. Or wait, you don't know my heart. Or wait, you don't understand. Or I didn't mean it, and then I start stuttering and falling, get in my head. And the comparison thing is awful.
You're also very young. When I was your age, I would not have been able to do this. Like, I want to make it clear that I think that young people right now are so strong mentally. Like, it's like you guys have no choice but to be strong. It's quite natural for a young person, and when I say young, I mean even in their 20s, it's quite natural for things to get under their skin. You haven't had a lot of things to compare things to. You haven't had, a lot of times where you're like, oh, I know how this is going to end. I'm not going to stress that. No, this is the first moments for you guys in a lot of areas of your life. Like, you've never seen what happens after social media or after, certain relationships or certain lessons. So, you're going through it in real time. I get it.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I've been doing this for over 2 years now, right? And I ain't gonna lie, man. I've come across some very interesting information about the industry, man. And it's a very dark place to be. It can be very nice in the beginning. Your life is changing. You feel amazing. The greatest high ever. Then the reality started checking now. Now the reality gotta, live. You know what I mean? You gotta experience the truth. No matter how much you try to run from it, the truth gonna come catching up. Now, this is what happened to most of these rappers and artists, right? As I said, they got that money from the jump, that signing bonus, whatever it is, right? 1 million, 2 million, 500K, 100K, a life-changing amount of money. They feel amazing. Then the reality start to kick in. Now you start to realize that these labels has certain expectation from you, right? They want their money back plus more. And then boom, they realize that, listen, they can get way more out of you. So you know what they do? They force you into another deal. And this deal is way more crazy. You know what I mean? And you just keep going on like that and that and that, and you can't get out of the deal, and you feel trapped. And in fact, you're doing stuff that you do not want to do. You know what I mean? Because they want to take you to a certain level, which requires more than just hard work. It requires more than just you going in the studio and doing a song. And now you're all around the world, far away from your family and your friends, and you just feel alone. You got all this fame and money, but you're alone. But let Nicki Minaj continue, man, because she got more for y'all, man. Let's go.
I can't say just don't care about stuff. I remember people used to tell me, people that were very close to me, they would say, if I was in your shoes, oh my God, you're so lucky. This was when I first got in the industry. They would be like, you're so lucky. If I was you, I would never complain about anything. I wish I had your life. And they used to tell me that they would not care about comments on the internet. And I knew that to be a lie. And two people that were very close to me had it happen to them and nearly had mental breakdowns. The same two people that were telling me, oh, I wouldn't care if I was in your shoes, when they got a little attention off the internet and it wasn't good stuff, and it was starting to be attacks, and the same attacks that I had to endure every day, they got a tiny taste of what I had to endure every day, and they were ready to jump off a freaking cliff.
Gosh.
So I'm not the type of person that's going to judge someone and say, oh no, you should care or you shouldn't care, or I my way is the right way. No, I'm the type of person that's saying it's okay and it's understandable that you haven't mastered these things yet. You're very young. You will master it though. You absolutely will. And talking about it and having other people see and hear, because faith comes by hearing, these little conversations, it's going to help other young people. And that's why we have to speak about things like this. We have to let them realize they're not the only ones doubting themselves. They're not the only ones hurting or feeling agitated, wanting to, respond to everything. They're not the only ones.
Yeah.
But in the long run, it doesn't benefit anyone to lash out in anger.
Yeah.
It benefits everyone to think things through first. And trust me, I have had to deal with a lot of decisions that I made in anger. Like, trust me. So I've learned. When I say these things, I'm saying it because of, firsthand knowledge, firsthand experience. But I can honestly say that lashing out in anger never got me anything. It never benefited me.
Yeah.
So then you start, thinking, okay, let me pray on this. Because that's the only way you're going to defeat whatever it is in your life that is weighing you down, is through prayer.
Man, the best thing Nicki Minaj did was to give her life to a greater source. And the power and the secret is not in the word God, it's the idea. The idea of you letting go of your burden, your stress, your pain, and you're telling yourself that you're giving it to God. You're telling yourself, actually, you're giving it to something. Because we don't know what God looks like. Is what I'm saying, but we feel the natural mystic around us, but we don't know how God look and all of that thing that you would use to describe someone. But it's just a feeling that you have within. And, the best thing you can do is to give your life to that source in a way where you're thinking positive, you're thinking righteous. You know what I mean? So you're like, oh, well, I used to do these bad stuff in the past, but I no longer do it because I'm aligned with that source. I'm aligned with that power of righteousness. So I can't be out here, be living a double life. I got to make up my mind to choose whether I'm going to be good or bad. And then I'm going to give all the bad to that power to cleanse it for me and transform it into positive energy and give it back to me. You know what I mean? It's about the transformation. You know what I mean? Because all energy is what you make it. You know what I mean? So you can transform bad energy into good energy if you know how to do it. And it's very easy, man. But that's a whole nother video, man. But let me continue, man. Let's go.
Okay. I think we've passed kneeling. Yeah, I think it's time to go into actionable items. I think everyone knows what the issue is, and we're done with that. We
Jay-Z is fucking up left and right. Or do he not care about black people and just use them to fulfill his own agenda? Well, that's what people are thinking or have thought for a long time. And now with him hooking up with Target and doing a special edition Reasonable Doubt vinyl, knowing that Target is being boycotted, people are pissed. And now they're starting to boycott Jay-Z. If you remember, he got hella backlash saying that we were off kneeling. Now, here we go again. Everybody was boycotting Target for the DEI stuff. And here's Jay-Z back working with him. What do you think about that? It's all fucked up now, and I don't like it. What if I told you?
The best skill that you can develop is to figure out how to stay in a good mood, even when there are so many reasons you could be in a bad one. And that is a skill, not a personality type, not a gift some people are born with and others are not. It's a practice, developed deliberately, chosen repeatedly, especially on the days when choosing it costs something. The goal is a self that difficulty cannot completely derail. You feel the thing, you acknowledge it, and then you make a decision that your whole day does not belong to that moment. That shift changes everything about how you move through the world. Suddenly, you're not having bad days anymore. You're having good days with little speed bumps inside of them. And that, my darling, is a completely different life. And if you want to know how to ensure that you're able to navigate those speed bumps easier, go to my bio and grab a copy of From Reaction to Response. It's an 11-minute guided audio that will get you on track just like that. I love you. My dad always said, only the guilty are offended. The older I get, the more I understand this, because I have watched people receive the exact feedback they needed to change their lives and choose their ego instead. Here's what I know about defensiveness. It's rarely about the person who delivered the message. It typically is about the part of us that already knows that that message is true and is not ready to face it yet. Truth does not need to be dressed up, my love. It does not need to be softened into something unrecognizable to be valid. And when someone offers it to you with genuine care, the most powerful thing you can do is get quiet enough to actually hear it. That's not weakness. That requires a particular kind of strength that most people never develop because it is far easier to assign blame than to accept responsibility. The people that I have watched grow the fastest in my lifetime share one thing in common. Pay attention here. They learned how to receive correction without collapsing, how to look in the mirror without flinching, how to say thank you for something that stung. Accountability is not punishment. It is the fastest pathway to the version of yourself that you say you want to become. So the next time truth arrives and your first instinct is to push back, pause. Ask yourself what it is you are actually protecting. Because if the feedback has merit, it will not stick. And if it does stick, that tells you everything. I love you.
Man, I want to say shout out to that lady, man. She always be sending great messages on Instagram, Facebook, you name it, man. And we need more people like that, man, because she got an energy and a vibe that y'all can relate to, man. Y'all can feel her. It's not like you just see someone just saying something, man. You can actually feel it the way how she say, and I can feel the intention from, she's where she's coming from. You can feel, the intention of her is pure, you know what I mean? And most people, right now is slowly taking their time to find her, and she's like a new wave. So I always try to involve her in the end of my videos just to, spread that love and that light and the energy to y'all. That's why the theme for this channel is to think positive, think loving, think righteous. Because that's the way, man. That's how y'all gonna really find peace. It all starts with your thoughts. It all starts with how you view the world, how you view yourself. You know what I mean? Those two things, perspective, whatever that word is, right? You seeing the world in a positive light, now you're gonna experience it because the world mirror how you view it. So whatever you send out, you're gonna get it back. So if you're looking at the world in a bad way and you're finding all the bad stuff, that's how you're gonna feel about the world, and that's what you're gonna experience. That's why y'all gotta reprogram your mind. Y'all can't be every day watching the news and scrolling on Instagram and be consuming those low vibrational energy. You're gonna just put yourself in a dark, low frequency, man. Y'all should wake up in the morning and just be, consuming positive information. You need to cut ties with those people who will be complaining all the time those negative people. You need to cut ties with the Instagram profiles that be draining your energy. The news station that's draining your energy, and just consume love and light, my people. I love y'all so much. It's Obi Meter. Thank you for your time. See y'all later.